Hey guys, what's happening? I just wanted to make a video on my old bow versus my new bow. This is a Hoyt Ultra Tech. This is my old bow, and little story behind this bow. So I bought this bow off a guy that I worked with. He had bought it for his dad, and his dad literally shot it a handful of times, I guess the guy was saying, and he ended up throwing his shoulder out, and he couldn't shoot compound anymore, so he ended up going to crossbow, and this was just hanging in his garage. And I believe back in the early 2000s, I'm not sure exactly what year this was made, 2000, 2006, somewhere between there, I think these bows were made. And the so the guy was like, so I used to work with him. I drove garbage truck. He was training me how to do a route. We got to talking. He told me he was like a competitive shooter, this and that. And I never really had my own, like, a compound bow that fit me. When I grew up, my dad gave me my mom's hand-me-down bow, which was like way too long. When I was pulling it back, the string's back here, and I'm just flinging arrows. I hunted with it, never killed anything. But then my parents finally bought me a bow that fit me, a PSE. Now this was from the time I was like 12 to 16. I used that bow, and then I killed one deer with that in Jersey, and it was actually stolen from us. Me and my dad were out hunting in Jersey, and the deer came along the fence row. I pulled back. He was like, "Hey, aim right at its spine," because he knew my bow was gonna drop. So I shot, and I hit it, and we waited a little bit, and it was almost dark, so we tracked it. We followed the blood. My dad's like, "Oh, we'll just come back in the morning and find it." Well, rewind to earlier in that day when we walked into the woods, we ran into two guys that were tracking a deer. And I'm shit you not, where we were standing when where that deer died, my deer, was probably right about where we're talking to those guys. And they're like, "Hey, we shot a deer, can we come back later and look for it?" My dad was like, "Yeah, sure." So then we go, now this was my first deer with a bow ever. So the next morning we get up, we literally follow the blood trail. Where we stopped and found the last drop of blood, we could see the gut pile like 20 yards away. Those guys found that deer and thought it was theirs, which is crazy because we were literally standing there pretty much where that deer died that afternoon before I shot it. So that was my first deer with a bow. When I turned 16, my uncle had bought me a crossbow for Christmas, so I used that for a while, and I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't have the money as a kid to go buy a new compound bow. So I used a crossbow, and it was great. It worked good. I killed a few deer with it. I have nothing against crossbows, but I didn't personally enjoy using it because I felt like I was using a gun. That's just my opinion. So I was working with a guy when I was driving garbage, and like I said, he told me, "Hey, he's like, I shoot competitively, I do tournaments, I do this and that." And then he said that his dad had hurt his shoulder, and he had basically this was brand new at the time. And he's like, "I'll sell it to you for $600. I'm like, "Shoot." So I went over to his house after work. He showed it to me. He taught me how to stand, because I had no training. Like, my dad just handed me the bow and said, "Go shoot," pretty much. So I really had no technique. I just shot the bows. I was always hitting myself in the arm. And even when I first started shooting this, I did it quite a bit at first. And then, I started to work on my stance and a little bit more of the techniques, because that guy kind of showed me when I was at his house what I should work on. And when I was at his house and I pulled back, he was like, "Your draw length's good." Shot the bow. I hit the bullseye the first couple times. He's like, "You're good." So this was the bow I used for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And killed me 2 deer, 2 bucks. So it's a good bow. I would assume, I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me. I think this might have been a flagship bow at the time when it first came out. And the crazy thing to me is like, they haven't changed from their design. Like, look at this little riser. It's still the same design as my RX-7. The only obviously the riser's a little longer on the RX-7, and the limbs are a lot shorter, and the cams are like twice the size. But This little bow's, it's a good bow. It's heavy. It's definitely heavy. And there's not much on it. And it weighs, and I know that's a carbon bow, you'll say, but I shot the VTM when I shot my RX-7, and this is still heavier than that VTM. But I don't know. It's still a good bow. It'll get the job done. So anybody that's wanting to go out and buy a new bow, you can get an old flagship bow. Like, I look at this up, eBay and most websites, it's $300. You can buy a $300 old flagship bow that'll shoot just as good as that bow for, half the price. Well, a quarter of the price of that RX-7. That RX-7 was $1,700. Now, I didn't have to spend the money on it, but the reason I did, and what sold me on it, is because I shot the VTM and I shot the RX-7 at the bow store. And my biggest thing that I noticed, that both bows shoot the same, in my opinion. The VTM, the RX-7, they're the same cams. They felt the same shooting them. The thing I noticed the most, even in a conditioned area, was how cold that aluminum got on that VTM. It was crazy to notice that in the store. And I like to hunt late archery, and I don't like wearing heavy gloves, and there's nothing worse than holding that aluminum bow when there's a deer in front of you and your hand starts to get frozen. I did a lot of hunting on the ground, so as soon as I see deer, my bow's in my hand. I'm not sitting there in a tree where I can just be like, oh, I'm not shooting that. You know what I mean? I'm sitting behind a tree, so as soon as deer come in, I gotta have my bow ready, because you don't know what's coming behind those doe. So I'll end up holding my bow the entire time deer are in front of me. Could be 5 minutes, could be freaking 45 minutes, an hour. Now, I just bought a blind, as you've seen in my video, so I can't wait to try that during archery. But I'll tell you what, there's something about standing behind a tree that just, it's a whole different animal when you're archery hunting behind a tree and those deer come in and they know you're there. They know something's not right and they're staring at you, and you can outsmart them and still shoot them when they come walking up to you while you're on the ground. I actually have a video that I should put up where I got surrounded by these doe. There was doe in front of me, and then these doe come behind me. I had to get down on my knees because there was a bush behind me. So I crouched down so they couldn't see me from the other hillside. And I ended up taking a shot at one of the doe that were in front of me. I peeked out from behind the tree on my knees, and I pulled back behind the tree, and I crawled out, waddled myself out from behind the tree on my knees, and I shot at her, but I ended up shooting over her back. I used the wrong pin, but that was just me. That wasn't the bow's fault. But yeah, so I don't know much. I'm still learning about bows. So, I don't know what's on this bow. I ended up having the Whisker Biscuit put on it because I always wanted to try one. I regret it now, but it's staying on here. I actually sold this bow to my buddy. It's got the true glow sights. Looks like it's got I guess would have been the Hoyt's quiver that would have came with it, the Hoyt stabilizer. And I'm not sure what these were called back in the day, but it's got the weird ball release on there. I'm not exactly sure what that would have been called, but I kind of like it. I'm surprised they don't use them anymore, but I guess it's probably heavier than a D-loop. But it works good. It's a good bow. So I'm going to shoot this a couple times. I haven't shot I've been using a thumb release for my other bow, so this is the release that I used for this bow. So it's been a while since I've shot the old slap trigger, so index release, but it's been a while. So we'll see how it goes. Don't judge me. This is 18 yards. Where the camera's at's usually where I stand, and that's about 20 yards. So I'm trying to flip the drop down release. I'm so used to shooting it, so we'll see how this goes. I haven't shot this in a minute. It's gonna be so weird. Oh man, that feels so weird. Dude, that's money. That's right in there. Dude, this bow, I don't care. This bow's good. Like, if you're skeptical on buying a bow, or you're just getting into archery, but you don't want to spend a ton of money on a flagship bow, like a brand new bow, look up some older bows that may have been a flagship bow back in the day that you can get for $200 or $300. It's fully decked out and ready to roll. You know, like I sold this to my buddy for $300. He's getting a good bow for $300, in my opinion. Can't complain about it. That's right there. It's so crazy how much this thing jumps, though. We shoot that RX7. Oh man, it's a whole nother animal. It's crazy how different that bow shoots. But you know, you're talking almost 20 years of technology change in bows from this one to that. But I mean, this thing still rips. I don't care. It'll go out. You can kill a deer with it if you need it. Whew. That one was way off. But that release, now that I've shot this, I should have shortened this up, but I don't think it has a way to shorten it up, because I was really like, I wanted to try and wrap my finger around it, but it's really long for my finger. But still, I shot pretty good. So let's go check that out. Maybe I'll do maybe we'll do one more shoot with this, and then we'll pull out the RX7. I'll take you guys up and show you how that shot real quick. Why is it recording? We'll go up here and take a look. We'll see how that looks. Oh wow, that's pretty good. So here's my first shot was this arrow here. The first one I aimed at. Then I aimed at that one. Then I was aiming for this, and I hit here, but I pulled. That was when I was really trying to reach for that trigger and threw off my anchor. But all right, let me pull these, and I figure we'll do one more rip with this and see how it goes, and then we'll pull up we'll grab the RX7 and let that rip. And we'll talk a little bit about that bow too. But yeah, so if you're new to shooting, I mean, to be able to go out and get it. I mean, I know they got new bows that you can buy for $300-$400 that are just as good. You know, they got cheaper models and stuff. But if you're looking to buy something used, man, just look around. I've seen a lot of these on eBay and just on random websites. So if you're interested, you know, look around. I said, this is a good bow. I'm killed a lot of deer with it. I'd still shoot it today. The only reason, so I used this bow in the beginning of this hunting season for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and I decided I wanted a new bow because I wanted to buy something that was mine. That I went, looked at the bow, shot it. Like, somebody else built this bow, some other guy. You know, I didn't build the bow myself, the shop did, but I got to pick out what I wanted on it and put it all together. And you know, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try and get a bow that was mine. I watched tons of YouTube videos before I even went, because I knew nothing about new bows. I knew nothing about bows in general, so I just watched videos. And I was torn between the RX7, the VTM, and then the Matthews Phase 4 was another one I was interested in. Now, Bowtech I didn't know much about, so I didn't really look into that. But when I went into the store, they only had the RX7 and the VTM and a bunch of Bowtech bows. So I shot, so I decided I wanted to shoot between the VTM and the RX-7. I didn't know if I wanted to even spend that kind of money on the RX-7. But it wasn't the shooting ability of the RX-7 that sold me. It was that carbon. And I know I'd go spend the money, it's carbon, it's a lot of extra money. But if you're going to be sitting in really cold weather, I'm telling you, I love, like, even this right now is chilly. And it's not that cold out. I'd say it's probably, I don't know what the temperature is today, 45, 50 degrees, I'd have to look. So it's a little chilly. It's not chilly that cold. I got shorts on right now. My legs aren't even cold, but this is chilly. You can feel the cold on that. And that's even got a wood grip. But even like the metal right here, the aluminum, that's cold, chilly. So we'll see when we grab that. I mean, I know you guys can't feel it, but you're just taking my word for it. But let's rip these 3 shots off, and then we'll grab the RX-7, do a little talk about that. So even this draw length's a little long for me, but we shot high on that one. Woof. Actually, it wasn't that high. That would still be a dead deer, but the draw length's a little long for me on this one too. I can feel it. I mean, I'm way back here in my ear with my hand, but my buddy bought it. I'm gonna take him. We're gonna go to the bow shop, and we're gonna get the poundage lowered, because when I did have him shoot this, and he had a hell of a time pulling it back, and he can't be struggling. He's never shot a bow in his life, so he can't be struggling. So we're gonna go get that changed. Whoever restrung my bow when I got it taken, they didn't even tie the peep sight off, so it's just, there's nothing there. That thing could fly out. And then I was gonna see, if he wants to get a D loop instead of this, and just gonna take him to the bow shop and get it worked on him, so it's good for him to shoot. So maybe I'll do a video on that when we go too. If you guys would like to see that, comment down below. Like and subscribe too, by the way. That helps. Ooh. See, I pull that. That's why I hate these triggers, man. I hate them. I'm just slapping away. And I'm trying not to. So I don't want to shoot this anymore. Bad habits start to form. That's why I like my thumb button. Those were all high this time. Alright, we'll take you guys back. We'll get the RX-7, and we'll see how that goes. Sorry about the camera footage, guys. I'm new to this, so it'll get better over time. Just hang in there if you guys stick around for that long. But hey, if you're liking the videos, like and subscribe. Helps me out, helps the channel out. I appreciate it. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to show you guys this. So I was aiming at that. I was aiming at those circles. Should have shot a little high. Smoked the one. But all right, let's get the. Let's swap them around. See you guys in a minute. Anyway, so here's my RX-7. Got the QAD rest. Got the Hoyt stabilizers. I'm not sure what brand sight that is. It says CX5 on there, CBE. But I do have a UV slider sight coming. But they don't ship till January, unfortunately, so I gotta wait. Oh, and then I shoot the practice, the G5 mega meat, or dead meat. I don't shoot the mega meat. So I got the practice tips. I try to shoot them all the time. I'll be honest with you, they shoot just as good as the field tips. I have no issues. I shoot these all the time. I've shot them at 60 yards. I haven't shot them at a 3Ds yet. I probably won't, because I mean they shoot just as good as field tips. So, but yeah, just holding this bow after holding that old bow, it's crazy. That thing feels like a freaking brick compared to this thing. Oh, and the carbon, warm. nice and toasty. I love it. I do. I love this bow. I don't regret. I'm not gonna lie. I don't regret spending that kind of money on this bow, because if it lasts another 10 years, you know what I mean, I got my money's worth out of it. Oh, I do regret. I think I should have went with the Ultra and got the 33-inch axle to axle, but I don't know. It shoots good. I think so. I love it. I went for my first time at Heritage Guild, which is the place where I take my bow. It's in Branchburg, New Jersey. You should go there if you're in the area. It's a good place. Jerry will take care of you there. But for the first time I went there and I actually shot, because this is my backyard. This is all I got. So if I go to shoot long ranges, I got to go somewhere. Like I said, this is only 20 yards. Where the camera's at, where you guys are at, is usually where I stand. But I had to stand here to make the video. So I'm like 18 yards. This is all I got. So I just get to practice at 20, which is good. But, you know, I went the other day, and since I had bought my bow at Heritage Guild, they will, they give you 2 hours free down at their 3D range. So I was down there for like 45 minutes, an hour the other day, just messing around. And I was smoking 10 rings. I was impressed with how well I actually shot down there. So that was my first time shooting 3D. I'll throw a picture up. One of my shots, that was at 38 yards. I thought it was a pretty good group, all in the 10 ring. It's pretty solid. But anyway, so this is the release I use for this bow. It's the UV thumb button. I love this thing. I had a Stanley wrist strap, and I recorded myself, and I was cracking that thumb button, just cracking it. And I've been practicing. I got a shot trainer in the house that I try to every night, just pull back on that shot trainer and just pop off, you know, and just practice, not freaking slamming that trigger. I love this thing. This thing is so nice. If you haven't tried one, or you were thinking about it, I would definitely think about trying one for sure. I read, if you didn't know, Lancaster Archery, if you're close to PA, which is where I live, if you're in PA, you can go to Lancaster Archery and they let you try out any release that you want. I seen it on their website. So if you're near, go there and check them out. I didn't shoot this. I just bought it because Black Friday, they went on sale. I mean, it was $50 off. It was still a $300 release. But regardless, it was on sale. So I didn't want to pass it up. So I ordered it, and I love it. I love the way it feels in your hand. It just feels so good. And then like the click, just listen to that. Oh, man. And the way it feels, oh, man. Just feels so good. So let's crack off a few shots. And, yeah, see how it goes. Sure where that hit. Still feel like I'm punching that trigger. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this release. But what I want to do is, after hunting season, I just want to get through hunting season. After it passes, I got till February, middle of February, and then it's over. I'm going to put my target downstairs in the basement, and I'm just going to shoot my bow at 5 yards. Just pull back, not even look at the target, or just cover my sights. And I just want to practice with that surprise shot. I need to break that habit of wanting to punch that trigger. Actually, the reason I was at The reason I was even at the bow place the other day was because I just got this release and it felt like it was making my draw length a little longer, but I figured it out. It was just the way I was holding the release. Now it feels better, and I started shooting way better down there at the range, so. Still getting used to this release. It's gonna take time, it's new. I've only shot this release maybe 50 times, if that, so. Let's go see what we did there. All right. Let's go see what that looks like. Hopefully it's pretty good. Oh yeah. Not too bad. We'll do another one here. That's not bad. I was aiming at each one of those dots that they're near, so that's not too bad. I'll take it. I'm probably just gonna, so from here I'm probably just gonna leave you guys back here and I'm just gonna fire off some shots, get a little practice in. So just hang out and enjoy. Well, let's rip some arrows, kid. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. Helps me out, helps the channel out. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Something don't feel right. I'm standing weird. That feels a little better. We'll see how that feels. Felt like when I was trying to aim at the target, like I was turned like that, but we'll see. I pulled that trigger. God, come on. See, I hate that. I hate that. And I know I do it too. That's why I need to go down and blank bail after hunting season. I gotta break that habit. Freaking foot feels weird. That felt pretty good. This would be why I'm shooting a little high too, because I'm 2 yards closer. I feel like my body's like twisted though. I don't know, it just feels weird. That looked pretty good. That looked like a pretty good shot there. See, and that's the other thing. So like the reason I want to practice on a blank bail is because I want to get that thought process out of my head. Because right now, what I'm doing is I'm thinking, trying to focus on what I'm aiming at, and I'm trying to focus on pushing and pulling, and then my sight starts moving. So then I'm trying to get back on target while pushing and pulling, and it really, like, mentally just messes with my head. So I'm hoping with doing some blank bailing, this just becomes natural, and then all I have to do is focus on that sight. That is what I hope for. I don't care if it takes me all of February to get it figured out. If it takes me 2,000 shots, I gotta do it, because I don't like that. I don't like having to be thinking about multiple things when I'm trying to just focus on what's in front of me. That there, I didn't even pull. I could feel myself push that. Hit. I aimed at the little black dot that was like, the size of a quarter. I hit the edge of it. I aimed at the one circle. I hit inside the black. And shit, I can't remember. They were all right there. They were all either in the circle or right on the edge. So not too bad. I mean, I get it. It's only 18 yards, but still. I really do love shooting bow. I just wish more of my friends shot bow. That's why I sold my bow to a buddy that never shot before. Because I don't have many friends. I don't have many friends at all that shoot bow. So if I can make some and get them into shooting, then I'll have people to go shoot with. Because I'm gonna go do the tack shoot in PA at the end of May. Like, I already plan on getting tickets when they go on. And so as of right now, I'm going by myself with just me and my wife. She's just going to record and hang out and follow me around. Not follow me around, but we're going to go together, and she's going to record and I'm going to shoot. So we'll see what happens. She wants to get into shooting. They do classes at Heritage Guild for girls on the weekends. She wants to start doing that. So it'd be cool to get her shooting, but she won't be ready for that just yet. Not a tack shoot. I mean, she can shoot it, But so, yeah, I'm excited for it, dude. I can't wait. There's a local place that does a shoot coming up in February. I've never done a 3D shoot, so all these will be new to me, but I can't wait. Ever since I bought this bow, I've been so much more into shooting. It's crazy. I love it. It just feels good. There's just something about it. It's just, like, I love shooting guns too, but bows are more challenging in my opinion. I think that's high. I was gonna say, I think my anchor felt a little off on that one. It looks like we shot it looks like we shot like 3 inches high and about 11 o'clock. Go see where that one was. Maybe I'll do one more group. So yeah, so that group, I hit the one circle was like 1/8 of an inch off the one circle, and then that other one that I said was like 2 inches high. It's not too bad. High to the left. Looks like those arrows are right next to each other. Trying to aim it there, so there's two lines that go down like a crosshair, and I'm trying to aim at the center of that crosshair without messing up an arrow. Obviously would be ideal. Let's see what that looks like. This tends to happen when we're out shooting. And go, we'll do one more and we're done. And one more turns into another and another, and then next thing you know, your arm's falling off. You know what I mean? It's like son of a beach. I love it though. Can't tell where that was. It's hard to see. I should have my bino harness on. Get used to practicing with that on, but we forgot to put it on, so here we are. I've been trying to shoot with it on because I just got it. I've never shot, so but it's all good. I feel like that one was low. I'm not shooting at the middle because I can't see those arrows and I don't want to hit them, so I'm going to go for the little dot up in the right. So I'm just going to end this here. Son. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to make this video to just talk about the difference in an old bow and a new bow. But even if you're new to shooting, if you want to get into archery, you can go out and buy an old flagship bow and still do just as good. I mean, you saw my shot groups. They were pretty much just as good as with my RX-7. So with practice and time, it don't matter what bow you use, so just get out there and do it. If you're interested in doing it, just do it. Actually, when I bought my RX-7, there was a guy in there, and I asked him, I said, what bow you buying? He's like, he didn't even know the brand. He never shot a bow before in his life. He was in there buying a bow to go shoot, so it was all new to him. So jump on it, do some research, watch some videos, but you don't need to buy an old flag or a new flagship bow. Go out and buy an old one, even if it is 10 or 15 years old. It's still going to do you just as good. I'm going to be doing a lot of 3D shoots. So if you're interested in that stuff and like watching it, like and subscribe and come hang out and enjoy the content. And yeah, get out there and shoot bows if that's what you're interested in. If you got a bow, get your butt up out there and start shooting. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one.